Hi, welcome to Scratch Magazine's Live from the Living Room series. I'm Chloe, and today I'm joined by one of our Scratch Stars Mobile Nailist of the Year finalists in the year 2021, Emma Robyn. And today she'll be talking to us about preparing to reopen as a mobile nail technician. So, firstly, Emma, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, obviously, the day is almost upon us, April the 12th. It's a day that, nail technicians have been waiting for. So, how are you feeling about reopening?
I'm actually really excited. I wasn't at first because I've quite enjoyed being at home with my son, but actually getting to talk to my clients again and their sort of enthusiasm is rubbing off on me. So I'm really, really excited to get back to work now and catch up with everybody and just get back into the swing of things.
I think it's going to be really, really exciting next week for sure. So, what have you been doing during lockdown? Have you been upskilling, or what have you been doing basically during lockdown whilst the nail industry's been closed?
I've spent quite a lot of time in Madge's chat room, listening to her lives and getting. Obviously, she's had some amazing talks on there, from risk assessments and even help with what we're allowed to claim as self-employed, all that kind of stuff. I've also done some talks with Times Radio about the industry, how we're gonna prepare to reopen, all that kind of stuff. I'm going back on there on Monday in the morning before we reopen. And other than that, just I've been studying as well. So yeah, it's been an interesting time with a lot going on. But it'll be good to get back out.
Definitely, I think for sure. I think nail technicians are just ready to go now. They just want to sort of just get cracking again. So what have you been doing to prepare for reopening? Is there anything you've had to, for example, checking your stock levels and buying any extra equipment? Like, what have you been doing to prepare?
Yeah, obviously stock is a bit of an issue because nails not so bad because the dates on them are so long, but lashes and tanning had to replenish all of that. I've been getting my kit ready today actually for Monday. And obviously with risk assessments and all that kind of stuff, really up in our obviously PPE game and hygiene. So I've invested in an MBO autoclave just to make sure my clients have absolute trust and faith in everything I do. So I got that before last time we reopened. So that my clients really like that.
Definitely, for sure. That's my next question, actually. So some clients may be quite nervous about, especially as a mobile nail technician, people entering their homes and things like that. So, what top tips would you give to mobile nail technicians who are trying to reassure their clients and ensure that their safety is put first?
I think as long as you're following all the guidelines, and I send out my clients obviously like a COVID questionnaire beforehand. So automatically they think, oh, well, she's quite organized, she knows what she's talking about. And then just talking to your clients. And if it's a new client, I kind of explain every time, like these are all my tools are sterilized, all of my files are one use. I leave it there. I don't even take it with me. I'm like, that's yours. And just sort of explaining really thoroughly that you've done your research, you know what you're talking about, and just be confident as well, just so they know that um I think that's the main thing, because if you're going to stumble over what you're saying to them and you're not too sure, if you don't know what you're talking about, they're going to be really nervous. But I found a lot of people, especially old clients, they completely trust me. So it's the new ones that are a bit more wary, I've found.
Yeah, definitely. So, in general, what has the client have your clients been like desperate to book their appointments? So, what have sort of the feedback and reception been like to the reopening announcement?
Yeah, everyone's really excited to get back and get some normality back with their hair and nail appointments. Obviously, it depends on your kind of clientele. My clients are sort of like every 2 or 3 weeks, so quite regular. And then you've got some, I think, where some people are more of occasion bookers. They've got like a party to go to or a wedding. I think you're gonna have that kind of, a few people are going to drop off, but I think the first few weeks are just going to be so manic because everyone's just desperate for some normality to go to the beer garden and have nice hair and nails and get back into the swing of it. So it seems, so far it seems okay.
Oh, that's brilliant news. So you mentioned your autoclave. So if you don't have an autoclave, what advice would you give to mobile nail technicians for ensuring their tools are like the highest standard whilst on the go?
Give that I I recommend personally having a few sets of tools. So you can make sure that when you come home, you're giving them a really good thorough scrub, getting any sort of like dust and debris off of them. And then obviously using your, whether it's Mondo or Barbicide, and just make sure that you're following the manufacturer's guidelines, because if you don't measure it out correctly, your tools aren't clean. And then obviously make sure that you're keeping them in something nice and sealed, so they're not going to get dirty in between when you're transporting, because it is quite hard to keep clean all of the time, because what we do creates dust. So
Yeah, of course. So speaking of dust and things, so obviously one of the new guidelines is about ventilation. So obviously in a salon it might be easier to have that adequate ventilation, but what advice would you give to mobile nail techs for ensuring they meet that guideline of ventilation?
just talk to your clients beforehand, explain to them, if you can sit near a window, or if they've got an air purifier. I know a lot of my clients have that kind of stuff, and most people will be really happy to sort of comply with that. I personally wouldn't go outside to do treatments, just because I mostly work with gel, so that doesn't work in the sunlight. It's going to be affected by UV. So just it's going to be tricky when the sun's coming in and you're sitting next to a window, but it's just logistics, isn't it? There's going to be ways to work around it. Just make sure that your clients are prepared, so they know everything that you're expecting of them beforehand as well, so you're not just springing all these things on them when you get there and making it more stressful than it needs to be.
Yeah, definitely. So what sort of, you mentioned briefly about how you've been sending a COVID questionnaire in advance. So what other things will you be sending them in advance to sort of make it not a shock when you do turn up and things are slightly different?
Yeah, so with my COVID questionnaire, I have a link, but in that I have like a generic text message that I send out, and it says that I'm going to be in full PPE. What I expect of you is, a mask. We need to have a nice clear space to work in, no other members of the household around, and ventilation, all that kind of stuff. So if we can sit somewhere near a window but avoid sunlight. And then I normally do that sort of like 2 days beforehand, so they're not too overwhelmed, like half an hour before, trying to grab everything they need. So I think just communication is going to be the key moving forward with this. So it just makes it more pleasant, because you are going into someone's home. You don't want to upset them. You don't want to stress them out. It's still meant to be a nice treatment.
Yeah, of course. Getting your nails done is such a luxury, and especially now more than ever, people have been waiting months and they want to
Yeah.
enjoy it, of course. That's definitely a good tip. So, obviously, coronavirus testing, I believe the guidelines are testing twice a week. So,
hmm
what sort of days how will you be spacing that out? Like either Monday and a Friday, or how will you be spacing that out?
Yeah, I think Monday and Thursdays, because I'm already doing it with my son's school. So I'll just continue that as I have been. So then you've got sort of like 4 days, well, 4 and 3 days. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. On the topic of sort of coronavirus test and trace, we've actually got a question from Sophia Lightfoot. So she says, being mobile, are you using a QR code on reopening for track and trace or COVID forms?
We have to. So I have already, as I said, my COVID questionnaire. It's just quite a generic one, and I've just put my logo at the top, and that's got everything I need on there. The QR codes, you cannot force your clients to do it, but you have to have it. So just keep it on your phone, make it your screensaver or whatever, and they can just, scan it from you there. Or you could even print it out and laminate it or something, so you can keep it clean. But yeah, we have to have those.
Definitely. So some mobile nail technicians might be feeling quite a bit anxious, a bit nervous about going back. So is there any top tips or advice you'd give them before they head back next week?
Be prepared, go through your kit, clean everything, make sure you've got everything that you're going to need, so you're not going to come unstuck at an appointment and start flapping around. And talk to your clients, because I personally wasn't looking forward to Monday. When I heard the announcement, I was like, I'm not ready. I'm actually not ready to go back. But going on Instagram, messaging all my clients, I'm sort of their excitement is rubbing off on me, and now I can't wait. I've built such a long-term relationship with my clients. It's like catching up with old friends. So it's going to be so lovely to go and see them. And obviously we need to go to work. Like, we need to get back into the swing of things. But I definitely think having that conversation with them, they're going to be so excited to see you. So it'll be fine.
Definitely. I think it'll be really exciting. I think it'll be a bit like, heading back to first day back at school, that sort of feeling, I think. So I think once you've sort of back
Yeah.
into it, I think everyone will feel a lot better. But obviously things, nail techs have been out of work for a couple of months now, and things have changed. So have you had to alter how you schedule your clients to make compared to pre-lockdown, and how you can fit them in and in a time
Mm.
way that's good for you?
I have started allocating more time to my clients, just because of all of the additional restrictions. And I've been out of the game for a while. Like I've slowed down because I've not been doing it. So I don't want to put that pressure on myself. My clients are really laid back as well. So I just put like a half an hour extra if it's a mani pedi, and I make sure that I'm not rushing through it, and I'm just giving them the best treatment that I can. But you just make sure that you've prepared, because when you're on the road, it's so hard to sort of, oh no, I've forgotten that, and have to turn back and grab it. So just overstock your car, make sure you have everything ready in the boot if you need to nip out. But yeah, definitely a little bit more time this time around, just until you get back into the swing of it, and sort of navigate your way back around your kit again after so long of it being sort of mine's been in the garage. So
Yeah, definitely. I think it would just be a case of taking things slowly those first few days and first few weeks, and just sort of easing yourself back into it.
mm,
I think that is everything. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'm sure Emma, if you kindly maybe have a check on them at some point and go and answer
yeah,
anything you have. In case you missed the beginning or have missed any part of this, this live will be saved to the Scratch Magazine IGTV. It will also be on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, and also the Scratch TV section of our website. So thank you so much for joining me today, Emma. I'm wishing you all the best for next week. I hope it goes really well, and that you obviously enjoy being back at work.
thank you, take care,
Thank you so much for your time.
see you
Thank
soon,
you.
bye.
Bye.